Hi there, everybody. We've all probably been in a similar place. You have to hold an accountability conversation, but you don't want to do it because you don't want to come off as a jerk. So we put the accountability conversation off forever, it seems like. Or by the time we have the accountability conversation, we are so frustrated, and so many people have complained to us that by the time that person is in front of them, we are a jerk. We just jump. So, what can we do? I'm Diana Damron, and I invite you to join me as we look at 3 ways to be confident when you hold those accountability conversations. And there's one secret that I want to share with you that so many leaders miss that leads to a lack of accountability. All right, number 1. The conversation goes wrong in the first 3 seconds. Maybe you've had that experience. I certainly have. So here's what we need to do. It's the step you take before you ever open your mouth. Before you say one single word, you pause. You literally pause rather than jumping into the conversation. Count 1, 2. When you take that breath, it gives your nervous system a moment to really balance so that you are not defensive. You're not in that defensive mode so that you don't attack when you begin the accountability conversation. When you pause, your words come out clean rather than charged. From coaching, I can tell you that people either give a pass or they pounce. When you pause, it eliminates both of those options. Now, here's the thing that you have to understand. When we decide not to have the accountability conversation, we're doing a disservice to that individual. The individual has some blind spots. They need your help in seeing what they don't see. And number 2, it does not help your organization if you're not holding those conversations, the accountability conversations. When you have a reckless first 3 seconds, it is hard to rebuild the trust. When you have a well-composed and a confident, open to this accountability conversation, you begin to build the trust. You have earned the permission to coach. Okay, so now you are in a position of composure. Your pose, you are confident. Here's step number 2. Your tone has to carry your message, the message of coaching rather than criticizing. Your tone of voice determines whether your words are going to land as coaching or as combat. Here's where to start. Go 10% slower and go 10% softer in your delivery. Your tone will then show respect. Use neutral nouns and be specific. In other words, don't say, "You are so unreliable. Everybody complains about you." No, 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 no. Instead, say, "You and I agreed that the package should be here by 2 o'clock on Thursday. The package arrived Monday. There's been no name calling. You are not attacking that person." Lead with I ownership. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but you're starting with I. I need to know that you and I are on the same timeline. You're going to say that rather than "you are always late." When you have a confident accountability conversation, obstacles will come to the surface. You will begin to understand what's getting in the way, and you begin to understand how to address that obstacle and to remove it. One of the benefits of being confident when you're holding an accountability conversation is that the obstacles to that person with whom you're having the conversation are going to begin to surface. You're going to see what's getting in the way of their being effective. And you're going to be able to find out, is there a way that we can reduce the effect of this obstacle, mitigate it, completely eliminate it? Maybe you've seen it yourself. The wrong tone really triggers negativity. It triggers defensiveness. But if you've got the right tone, it begins to trigger buy-in. Okay, you totally have the tone under control. Now we have to look at the body language. The body language is what really carries the message. Your body language, when you show up, says, "I'm here to help," or "I am here to punish," before you ever open your mouth. Okay, there are a couple extremes here. Number one, don't cower. You want to sit up or stand up. You want your shoulders back. You want your head up. And if you are standing up, you want your feet planted on the ground so that you exude leadership. You exude confidence. On the other hand, don't loom over the person. Don't lean over the desk. It comes across as so threatening. It's really hard to build trust when you're in that kind of situation. So be careful about that body language. Keep your hands visible, but at the same time, keep them still. If you're agitated, if you're nervous, you're going to come across as either irritated or like you don't have things under control. One of the fastest ways to destroy your credibility is to have a mismatch between the words you say and your body language. When they align, you begin to show positivity and leadership and confidence. Okay, your delivery is now aligned, but so often leaders miss one step, and that leads to the lack of accountability. And that one step is to spell out expectations, to be very specific as to what you are looking for. What is the goal? When are you expecting that goal to be achieved? What specifically are you looking for? Don't assume that the person can read your mind and knows what it is. So spell it out. Well, there you have it. You are set for an accountability conversation. You now know that there needs to be a little pause before you ever open your mouth. You understand the tone of voice, how important that tone of voice is to show that you're really there to coach, to help, to guide. Number 3, you understand the importance of body language, and the body language has to align with your message. And you know that secret that so many leaders don't know, or they avoid, or they just completely forget about. Spell out expectations. If you want to know a little bit more about building confidence, I have a guide for you. It's 7 steps to unlock confidence, and the link is below, and I'd love to send it to you. Thanks so much for joining me.